Welcome. Those who are preparing for Certified Credit Professional Examination will be following a study material called Credit Management. This study material has two appendix, and in Appendix B they have given various examples and problems. Okay, let's see one by one. This is problem number 1. Focus is on break-even analysis. A company makes a single product with a sale price of rupees 10. Marginal cost is rupees 6. Fixed cost are 60,000. You have to calculate number of units to break even, sales at break even point, CS ratio, that is contribution by sales ratio, what number of units will need to be sold to achieve a profit of 20,000, what level of sales will achieve profit of 20,000 per annum, here also per annum. Because of increasing cost, the marginal cost is expected to rise to rupees 6.50 per unit and fixed cost to rupees 70,000 per annum. If the selling price cannot be decreased, what will be the number of units required to maintain a profit of 20,000 per annum? Then the last one, if the taxation rate is 40%, how many units will need to be sold to make a profit of 20,000 per annum? Okay, it might sound too technical, but it's very simple problem. Let us crack one by one. What is the fundamental information we are given? We are given sales price is rupees 10 and we were told what is marginal cost. So from the sales, if I deduct the marginal cost, which is 6, I get contribution, and contribution is 10 minus 6, 4. So this gives certain critical parameter. That is, when they sell something for 10 rupees, they are going to make a contribution of 4 rupees. So contribution to sales, if you measure, it is 4 divided by 10. It works out to 40%. It means this product will give a contribution of 40%. You have to keep this in mind. Let's look at the first question. The first question is, how many units have to be sold to achieve break-even? See, what happens in break-even? In break-even, there is no profit, no loss. And what is our task here? We have to find out the number of units to be sold to achieve break-even. So, at break-even point, what will happen? There is no profit, no loss. It means from contribution, if you deduct fixed cost, you are supposed to get profit or loss. But at break-even, the contribution will exactly match your fixed cost. So, there will be no profit, no loss. It means it's going to be 0. So, this gives rise to the understanding that at break-even point, your contribution is going to be equal to fixed cost. Do you know what is contribution? We know contribution per unit, which is 4. But we do not know what is the total contribution. But now that's going to become simple, because we know what is the fixed cost. Fixed cost is given in the question. Okay. Now let's make use of this relationship. At break-even point, we know contribution is equal to fixed cost, and fixed cost is equal to 60,000, and obviously that is going to be equal to what? Contribution. And how this contribution is arrived? It is arrived as sales minus marginal cost. So now we have this critical information, contribution is equal to 60,000. And if you look at the relationship between the contribution and sales, it is 40%. It means this 60,000 represents 40%. So what is 100%? If you do that calculation, you will find out what is break-even sales. And when you find the break-even sales, if you divide it by selling price per unit, you will get to know what is the break-even sales unit. But let me give you a small shortcut. Instead of doing that step, you can simply take this contribution, you can divide it by contribution per unit, which is 4, because contribution and sales will move in same direction. I will demonstrate that. Okay. So here I have contribution is equal to 60,000. If I want to know what is the sales units at this level, what I have to do is I have to take contribution. I just have to divide that contribution by contribution per unit. So I know contribution is equal to 60,000 now. And what is the contribution per unit? Already we have calculated 4. So that works out to 15,000. It means break-even sales unit. Break-even sales units is actually 15,000. And how we got this 15,000? We took a shortcut. We took contribution. We divided by contribution per unit. 60,000 by 4, we got 15,000. But what is the ideal long route? Using this contribution information, you have to find out what is break-even sales. And how we can do that? It is simple. Break-even sales is nothing but contribution divided by, here we have calculated, right? This contribution is basically what? 40% of sales. So contribution divided by 40%, divided by 40%. That is 60,000 divided by 40%. If 60,000 is 40%, then what is 100%? You will get 1,50,000. So this is basically what? Break-even sales. But what is our target? Our target is we have to find out break-even sales and we have to express that in units. So in that case, you have to take this 1,50,000 divided by selling price per unit, which is 10. So you will get 15,000. 15,000 units. And it is the same answer we have derived here already, 15,000 units. So what we did, instead of taking the long route, we understood what is the relationship between the contribution and sales, because they are going to move in the same direction. What do I mean by saying that they are going to move in the same direction? See here, 10 is the sales, 6 is the marginal cost, so contribution is 4. It means it is 40%, right? 40% of 10. So if this 10 becomes 20, what will happen to the 6 being a marginal cost? It will become 12. And what will happen to the contribution? 20 minus 12, it will become 8. So again, if you measure 8 divided by 20, it's going to be same 40%. That's what I say, contribution and sales move in the same direction. So if at all you want to do some calculation with reference to sales here, you can make use of this relationship and you can restrict your calculation to the contribution level itself. That's how I was able to arrive at break-even sales unit as 15,000. I know I took little longer time to explain this concept, but the candidates who are preparing for CCP, Certified Credit Professional, they may not get opportunity to see these areas in practice that easily. Okay, so that's the reason I explained it by taking little extra time. Let's move on to the second question. What is the second question? You have to find out what is the sales at break-even point. So now we know what is the break-even sales, which is 15,000 units. So what is going to be the sales at break-even point? Already we have calculated here. Okay, but still we'll do it. Item number B, sales at break-even point is nothing but this 15,000 units multiplied by 10 rupees. So it is 1,50,000. That's question B. Moving on to question C. What is CS ratio? That is contribution sales ratio. That also we have calculated. Okay. So we'll put that CS ratio is nothing but contribution divided by sales into 100. Contribution, we know it is 4 rupees. Sales is 10 rupees into 100, and that is 40%. Okay. And fourth question, what number of units will need to be sold to achieve a profit of 20,000 per annum? Okay. Let's digest this. See here, try to understand this relationship. First, a business makes a sale. They incur marginal cost. Let us deduct that. So, they get contribution, and from this contribution fixed cost have to be met, and then eventually that business makes a profit. At break-even sale, there is no profit, no loss. Okay. Now the question says, what number of units will need to be sold to achieve a profit of 20,000? See, we know at break-even point, contribution is equal to fixed cost, so profit will be 0. It means if you want to have a profit of 20,000, your contribution should be greater than fixed cost to the extent of 20,000. It means beyond break-even sale, whatever the contribution makes, that directly goes to profit. So let me put it like this. For your understanding purpose, I am putting it like this. At break-even sale, what is your profit? It is 0. What is your fixed cost given in the question? It is 60,000. At this level, your contribution will also be 60,000. That's why 60,000 minus 60,000, you get 0. So this is your contribution, and this is 40%. If this is 40%, what is 100%? That's going to be your sale, and that's what we have calculated as 1,50,000. So 1,50,000 minus 90,000, because I just took this as a balancing figure, gave this contribution of 60,000. Okay, but here our task is something different. We need a profit of 20,000. If you want to have a profit of 20,000, then your contribution should cover the fixed cost of 60,000 plus it should contribute 20,000. It means your contribution should be 80,000. So you meet your fixed cost of 60,000 and then there is a profit of 20,000. But the question is asking you how many units. So what you can do, you can take this 80,000, you can simply divide it by contribution per unit. Okay, and what is a contribution per unit? Already we have done that, right? It was 10 minus 6, contribution per unit is 4. So 80,000 divided by 4 will give you how much? 20,000. It means if this business wants to make a profit of 20,000, then they have to sell 20,000 units. Will that work? Yes, it will work, because 20,000 into 10 will give you sales of 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs minus 80,000, 1,20,000 is going to be the marginal cost. So 80,000 is the contribution. 80,000 minus 60,000, you get the profit of 20,000. Okay. So answering question D, what number of units will need to be sold to achieve a profit of 20,000? It is actually 20,000 units. Okay. Next, question E. What level of sales will achieve a profit of 20,000 per annum? Okay, this is what we answered in D, but we answered it in terms of units. Now let's express that in terms of value. Okay, sales to achieve profit of rupees 20,000. Already we have seen that 20,000 units will generate a profit of rupees 20,000. So it is 20,000 units into selling price of 10 rupees, and we have done that already here. So 20,000 into 10, sales of 2 lakh per annum will generate a profit of rupees 20,000 per annum. Next, very interesting question. Question F. Because of increasing cost, the marginal cost is expected to rise to rupees 6.5 per unit. Fixed cost will become 70,000 per annum, and here the selling price cannot be increased. Then what will be the number of units required to maintain a profit of 20,000 per annum? So now this becomes interesting. There is a change in the selling price. Earlier, there is no change in the selling price, but there is a change in marginal cost per unit. There is a change in fixed cost. So the selling price is going to continue at 10, but the marginal cost from 6, it is increasing to 6.5. Okay, so there is going to be change in contribution as well now. 10 minus 6.5, contribution per unit is going to be 3.5. And there is a change in fixed cost also. fixed cost got increased to 70,000. And what is our target now? Our target is maintaining a profit of 20,000 per annum. So try to visualize this. From sales, you have to deduct the marginal cost. That will give you contribution. That contribution should support your fixed cost. That will give you profit. And question says the target profit is now 20,000. Okay. And what is the fixed cost now? It is 70,000. So what should be the new contribution? It is 70 plus 20. It should be 90,000. And now we have this relationship. The relationship between the contribution and selling price. It is 3.5 by 10. That is, contribution by sales percentage is 3.5 divided by 10. It is 35%. Earlier it was 40%. And we have one more information. Contribution per unit now is 3.5. So what we can do, instead of calculating the sales, we can just arrive at the number of units by looking at the contribution itself. Okay. And this is something I explained in the beginning itself. So what I'm going to take is sales units is equal to contribution amount divided by contribution per unit. We know contribution is equal to 90,000 and contribution per unit here is 3.50. And this calculation will give you value as 25,714. Okay. So this 25,714 units will generate a particular sale, and that will give a contribution of 90,000, and as a result profit will be 20,000. So answering the question F, what will be the number of units required to maintain a profit of rupees 20,000? It is 25,714 units. Okay, for just satisfaction's sake, let's cross check whether it will generate. If 25,714 units is going to give a profit of 20,000, then what will be the sale? Sale value will be 25714 into 10. It's going to be 25740. We'll put that here, 25740. And 90,000 is the contribution. So 25740 minus 90,000 is going to be the marginal cost in between. That works out to 167,140. You can also otherwise calculate this figure, because here you have this relationship, right? Marginal cost is 6.5 out of 10. So it is basically 65%. So we can take 65% of this sales value, that will be the marginal cost, and that gives the contribution of 90,000, deduct fixed cost 70, and it is giving a profit of 20,000. Okay, so it helps. Moving on to the last question. If the taxation rate is 40%, how many units will need to be sold to make a profit of 20,000 per annum? Okay, this is a little different. They are saying that there is a 40% tax. It means we are targeting a profit of 20,000, which is basically 60% of the profit, because 40% goes to tax. Let's do that reverse building. We need a profit of 20,000. It is after providing for 40% tax. It means this is 60%. Okay. So if this profit of 20,000 is 60%, then what is tax? I'm doing a complete reverse process. Okay. If this 20,000 is for 60%, what is 40%? That is 20,000 divided by 60% multiplied by 40%. It will give you 13,333. So from the profit before tax, we are subtracting 13,333. So we got a profit of 20,000. So what should be profit before tax? Basically the sum of these two items. 20,000 plus 13,333, which is 33,333. So this is 40% tax and this is 100%. It means on this PBT, if you calculate 40%, you will get this figure. Okay, right. And now this PBT is arrived after subtracting the fixed cost from contribution. Okay, and when I say fixed cost, I will take the fixed cost given in the base question, not what is given in F. F is a specific scenario. The fixed cost given in the base question is 60,000. So this PBT is arrived after subtracting the fixed cost of 60,000 from contribution. So what will be the contribution? Obvious, it will be the sum of these two, that is 60,000 plus 33,333. It means 93,333. So this is going to be the contribution, and we know the relationship between the contribution and sales, that is 40% is the contribution. If this 93,333 is 40%, then what is 100%? Let's do 93,333 divided by 0.4 into 1. So what you will get? You will get 2,33,333. So this is going to be your sales, and obviously this difference is going to be the marginal cost. Okay, we'll take that as a balancing figure. But actually we could avoid this step which I explained in the beginning. Okay, nothing wrong in calculating this, because here our target is not finding the sales value, rather it is only finding the sales units, and that very well we can find by taking the contribution, dividing it by contribution per unit. We know contribution here is 93,333. Let's divide it by contribution per unit. And what is the contribution per unit? It is 4 rupees. Okay, so 93,333 divided by 4 will give you 23,333. It means these many units have to be sold if that business wants a profit after 40% tax at the rate of rupees 20,000. Okay, and here this is also correct. If you look at it, we have calculated sales as 2,33,333, which is correct, because if you take this number and multiply by 10, you are going to get the same value.